Good morning, Vikings fans. How we doing this morning? Well, I know how we doing. The Vikings are 7-1. The Packers are done, and Monday's musings is going to be a whole lot of fun. Whether it's Ice Ice Baby or the sound of the man working on the chain, this is going to be fun. Stick around. Be right back. All right, it's like this, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday morning. The Vikings win. The Packers lose. As Ice Cube would say, it was a good day. Vikings win 20-17. They make it interesting because that's just who they are. Kirk Cousins gets his revenge on his old team, on his old stomping grounds. Justin Jefferson finally gets a gritty in the end zone, and the Vikings just find a way. Listen, as I've said, this team's not blowing anybody out ever, but this team's very rarely going to get blown out either. They're going to play the same game, whether they're playing a good team, a great team, a mediocre team, or a bad team. We're just going to have to accept that the over-under on heart attacks each week is 2.5. They might give us 2, they might give us 3, but at the end of the day, they're going to give us everything they got. Yesterday, I was at a bar at the Mall of America with my girl, with the Score North crew. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun. But guess what? The Vikings do what they've always done. They come out on that first drive like a hot knife through butter. I mean, they were just absolutely, dare I say, on a roll, and just went up and down the field. Justin Jefferson, a couple catches on that drive into the end zone, and it looked like, here we go. What did I say in the preview show? I said get up early and get up often. What did the defense do the next handful of drives? They got punts, sometimes 3 and outs, a couple first downs here and there. But the bottom line is this. The Vikings do what they always do. They score on the first drive and don't do anything for 2.5 quarters offensively when it comes to scoring points. Yes, we'll talk about that late interception at the end of the second quarter there. But bottom line is this. Defense played outstanding. They got Taylor Heineke, Zadarius Smith, Danielle Hunter, Harrison Smith, all kinds of players doing all kinds of things that just say, hey, you told me going into this game, okay, we're going to give up 17 points against the Washington team. Yeah, we're going to win that game. Should have won it a little bit more comfortably. But guess what? We're going to keep saying that over and over. That's what this team is. And that's what makes this so much fun, is that no matter who we're playing, we're always going to be there. They might look like garbage for 2.5 quarters offensively, but when it comes down to nut cutting time and crunch time, guess what? They're there. I'll say this. They didn't look at the offensive interior of the offensive line yesterday was garbage. Okay. The guards, the center, all 3 of them were garbage. There were times where Kirk had a couple of plays to be made before he got pressured, sure, but so what? He was under duress quite a bit. I think he got hit like dang near 20 times yesterday. And at the end of it, there are times where I will say that the excuse making for Kirk Cousins is by the offensive line gets a little overblown. Yesterday was definitely not one of those games. The offensive line on the interior was horrible. Let's just call it for what it is. They were horrible on offensive line interior yesterday. I know Washington is definitely a top 5 defensive line, particularly their defensive tackles, and they showed it to us yesterday. I don't know how many times I saw Garrett Bradbury just get forklifted into Kirk Cousins or into Dalvin Cook, but not their best game. But at the end of it, they still pulled it off. Yeah, Washington, after getting stifled, got the field goal, and then got a couple touchdowns. It was a game of runs. 7 run by the Vikings, excuse me, then 17 straight points by Washington, and then 13 by us. That's who this team is. But it's not necessarily the worst thing, because there will be times where the defense is picking up this team, and there'll be times where the offense is picking up this team. By the start of the fourth quarter, the event we were at was just kind of starting to lose its energy, lose its swag. Yeah, we also had the Packers game on, and every time the Lions did something good, the Packers did something bad, we would kind of get a little raw going there. But having said that, we weren't there to cheer against the Packers as much as we were there to cheer for the Vikings. And when they kicked that field goal, a guy was just like, I don't know if that was our last chance, that maybe we should have gone for it there. I said, no, it's okay. It's Taylor Heineke. He's going to throw one of those bleep you balls. My guy Rap had the line. Taylor Heineke, like Case Keenum and and Kyler Murray, just throw F it balls, as he quotes it. And dang for sure, if not 5 minutes after that, Harrison Smith takes an interception down inside the 20-yard line. And I said to the guy right then and there, that's ball game. He's like, well, we're still down 17-10. I said, they're going to score a touchdown. We're going to get a stop, and we're going to just run out this clock and score, whether it's a touchdown or field goal. I said, right then, I'm like, all right, we got an interception. We do what we always do. The defense comes through again. They've held them off the scoreboard for the most part, and they came up with a big play. Again, how sustainable is it? I don't know. But right now, I don't care. It's not about worrying about sustainability. I was on Vent Line on Score North last night, and a couple guys said to me, Justin, why are you so negative? I'm like, I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic. I'm being realistic that against Buffalo and Dallas, and if when we get into the playoffs, hopefully, to the NFC Championship game and or beyond, that's eventually going to catch up. So we better shore up some other things. That's not being negative. That's being realistic. But what's realistic right now is the Vikings are 7-1, and every other team in this division got 6 losses. The Vikings' magic number is 5. What magic number means is the number of games that either you have to win or your closest opponent has to lose in order for you to clinch your division. So it's like this. While it is highly unlikely, the Vikings could clinch this division as early as Thanksgiving night. They are the division leader that is closest to the division and could clinch their division the soonest if I have my math correct. Here's how it will go. Highly unlikely, but let's just play it out for the fun of it. If the Packers and Bears both go 0-2 in their next 2 games, the Lions would have to be 1-2 because the Lions face the Bears in one of those 2 games. So the Packers have to go 0-2. The Bears have to go 0-2, which includes a loss to the Lions. Then Thanksgiving morning, the Bills would have to be the Lions. That means all 3 teams in the division would have 8 losses. If the Vikings then win against the New England Patriots, again, assuming that they win both Buffalo and Dallas, they would clinch the division on Thanksgiving night. Gobble, gobble, what a present that would be. But regardless of whether they clinch on Thanksgiving night or not, this division is beyond over. This Packers team is beyond done. The Bears are no threat. The Lions are no threat. The only threat to the Vikings is the Vikings themselves. They keep playing like this, they can play with anybody. They can play with Buffalo. They can play with Kansas City. Not saying that they're better than those 2 teams. Not saying it's the end-all, be-all. Excuse me for just a moment. Sorry about that. That's my alarm clock saying, you got 2 minutes. Wrap this up. So it's like this. It's always a good day when both the Vikings win and the Packers lose. It's an even better day when this division is all but locked up. And at the end of the day, for me, go to work today with a smile on your face and enjoy the heck out of this. Because guess what? This team ain't going anywhere. This team isn't going anywhere. And oh, by the way, thank you, Kwesi, for making a move at the trade deadline and getting TJ Hawkinson. Are you kidding me? This dude, it's like he's been here the whole time. This dude just walked into this team on Tuesday, and he played 60 out of 65 snaps. Gone are the days of, well, it's going to take him a little time to get acclimated to the offense and get worked himself. Get out of here with that mess. TJ Hawkinson, 9 catches for 70 yards on 9 targets. Every time he threw the ball to TJ Hawkinson, he caught it. Now, having said all that, 70 yards is a little bit deceiving because 3 of those yards were for losses behind. 3 of those catches were for losses behind the line of scrimmage. Stop with them tight end screens. They don't work. Whether it's Irv Smith Jr., TJ Hawkinson, Travis Kelce, I don't care. Stop with them tight end screens. We're going to get into more of that a little bit later when I'm on a day with Mike and Kyla on the Purple Code. So tune in for that. That'll be at about 6:30 Central Time tonight. Got some announcements to make here at the end. But getting back to the stats. Yeah, Adam Thielen, 3 catches, 67 yards on 7 targets. Going to lead a little bit more production for him. But the catch of the day was Dalvin Cook in the end zone that ultimately tied that score. One-handed catch. Beautiful pass by Kirk Cousins. And I'm going to say this, as frustrating as it can be watching Kirk Cousins at times with the inconsistency and the disappearing act that the entire offense can be, man alive was he clutch yet again. That deep bomb to Justin Jefferson, as great of a route as it was and as great as a throw it was, that's the play that Kirk Cousins took that hit that knocked him out for a game. Say whatever you want about this guy. He's got his pluses and minuses. He's got things that you love and things that drive you crazy. But this dude absolutely balled out when it mattered. And that's what I've been saying. If you have not watched my video where I said great quarterback debate between last year's Kirk Cousins and this year's Kirk Cousins, please go back and watch it again. It is worth the 10 minutes of your time. And once again, I know it's not the beautiful stats. Okay, yeah, Kirk Cousins, 265, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Okay, mediocre stats. And guess what? All last year, what did we say? All last 4 years. 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, but we lost. Well, it's not Kirk. Who cares? Who cares about stats? The only stat that matters is W's, because that's what gets you into the playoffs, and that's what gets you a championship. Let's talk about that interception real quick at the end of the first half. Okay, stuff happens. I appreciate the aggressiveness, though. Last week, yeah, they had less time, didn't have a timeout, but they didn't take any shots at the end zone. They got a first down with no timeouts. had about 11 seconds left and ran 2 plays, got 3 yards for Greg Joseph to miss a long field goal. Yeah, they were in field goal range, and Greg Joseph yesterday was better. Didn't miss a thing yesterday. Okay, would have been nice to have those 3 points, but I'd rather take that chance at getting the 7. You know what? Throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson in the end zone is never a bad play, even if it ends up being intercepted. Doesn't mean you be reckless about it. Doesn't mean you throw into triple coverage. But I'll take that aggressiveness and I'll live with that result, knowing that at least you were trying to get in the end zone at the end of the half. So for me, for right now, I'm going to say it like this. We're going to wrap up Monday's musings by just saying it once again. Go to work, smile. If you got Packer fans as your co-workers, just wave at them. You don't got to say nothing to them. Just wave at them. Say, how you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Because get ready. You're going to have 30 years of that. Because that's the price you're going to pay for having 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterbacks, ladies and gentlemen. Blow, pack, blow. Time for you to go. In fact, it's been time for you all to go. It's as simple as this. Vikings on top of the division, on top of the NFL. You got Philly, you got Buffalo, Kansas City, and you got us and Dallas. Those are the 5 teams that matter. Baltimore might have a little something to say to that, as I said in my preview pick segment. And I think they're going to storm tonight. But having said all that, yes, the Vikings are for real. They're a Super Bowl contender. And we got a heck of a matchup next week. We'll get into that a little bit more later. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I got to give a shout out to my boy Rap. I got to give a shout out to my guy Dave, who on their show last night pimped out my channel. I want to appreciate all the new subscribers that I got because I'm just getting started. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Ask them to subscribe for me. I'm going to be back tonight around 6:30 Central Time on this channel as well as the Purple Code. Look up the Purple Code. Subscribe to that as well. The name of the show is A Day with Mike and Kyla, where the 3 of us are going to break down this game, break down a little bit of the games around the NFL, as well as looking forward to next week's humongous matchup against the Buffalo Bills. I'll also be on tomorrow night on a show called Under the Lights on this channel with my guy Dave. Again, thank you, Dave and Rap, for getting me out there and getting me some new subs. Very much appreciated, and appreciate everybody who has watched, liked, and comment. You like what I got to say? Put something in the comments and say, Justin, I agree with you. You think I'm crazy? Put it in the comments. Justin, you're crazy. I don't care. Good, bad, indifferent. Good, bad, or ugly. Give me a shout. Share this with your friends. And enjoy your Monday. Let's go Vikes.